We're live. Howdy do, everyone. Happy early 4th for those who celebrate. Be careful out there. Don't blow nothing up. Don't set nothing on fire, please. And thank you, especially if you live in those areas where things catch fire very easily. Even if you live in the middle of the ocean, don't burn nothing down. So happy Canada Day, too, for those who celebrate. And like I said, happy 4th for those who celebrate. And Becca got
Canada Day to those that are moving to Canada.
You got anything, Becca, coming up? Besides torture and mayhem with your horns there. She's frozen.
Oh, she is frozen with the perfect look on her face. Oh, that was the perfect look.
He's going to go tortured mayhem. The devil shall return, ladies. This is how it starts. This is how it starts.
Becca, you missed it. Johnny said she's going to torture and mayhem. She'll be right back.
Sorry, everything went black. Like it was all black with the spinny things.
I was like, "You got anything coming up?" And it was just this face, and so she's going to go torture and mayhem.
It was the perfect face. You're sitting there. You're so cute.
I wish. I've decided if you can't make me Satan, at least make me a vampire, because I have a whole entire list of people I would not mind eating. I would not go hungry. So, no, not really. Not really. I'll be on when I'm on. So, I'm going to play it by ear. Sorry about that.
I mean, those who have been around for enough time know how we do. Just pop up. Oh, you're live. So there you go. Jen's got a thing coming up, though. So what you got?
Yeah, I got a busy day tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time on my channel. I'll be with Jody Roberts for Sacred Sounds of Coffee. And then, so it's 11 Eastern Time. And at 11:30 Central Time, 12:30 Eastern Time, I'll be on the Way of Positive Changes channel with Lori, doing a little holiday read.
And me, I got nothing, and I'm leaving it that way.
Johnny, please show the people in the chat your shirt, because I love it and I think it's fabulous.
Oh. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. You got the Ruth Bader Ginsburg face.
I love that.
Got it from Etsy. They got tons of shirts. I almost got the I wish my uterus would shoot bullets. That way they wouldn't be regulated. So,
Johnny, may I say, I just ordered a shirt from Etsy. It should be here this week. And it says F, but it's completely spelled out. It says F the patriarchy. And I'm like, yes. Add to cart.
Please wear that. Yes. Mother Teresa don't work here. We have to wear it.
Finland Tarot, when clarity becomes an issue, go to my website and book a reading.
Copyright trademark.
FinlandTarot.com.
I like that. I got it from Etsy. There's a bunch of them on there. So you just Etsy and type in Roe v. Wade, and I'm sure a bunch of different shirts will come up. So
Trillium wants to know if you got any Kit Kats in there.
I'm messing up this shirt. No.
I got Kit Kats over there. I just showed you guys in the after show the Kit Kats with the Hershey's, with the Reese's Pieces and Reese's peanut butter.
I'm not even waiting for the after show. I got the Hershey's going.
I got to wear this a few more times because all of my other clothes are in a box somewhere. So this has got to be for next. Oh, I got my Nasty Woman's t-shirt. I forgot to wear last week.
Thank you, Peggy Breen, for my t-shirts.
So, okay. Where should I even start? Jesus. Thank you for those who sent questions. I have 43, so we're not going to get to all of them, but I am going to do a bunch of recordings this week, so I'll get to most of them at least. But for change of pace, you know what? We'll go outside and come back inside. We'll start with a non-American question. Where did it go? The president of Guatemala, was it Guatemala? Where is he from? Damn it. I thought I was prepared in everything, and I am not. Where is the question at? You know, I'm about to not do it in about 5 seconds here. There's 43 things on this. Okay, there it is. No, that's not it. We'll come back to it when I find it. I actually want to start. We'll start with Cassidy Hutchinson. Actually, did she lie? I just want to ask that question.
About anything.
Did she lie, even unknowingly? Did she lie?
I love that Truck was saying he didn't even know her, and there's all these pictures of her in the Oval Office standing behind him. It's like, yeah, didn't know her.
Because the reason I ask if she lied is she has her story, and the story was told to her by one of the Thank you, Mara, and thank you, Katrin, as well for the super chat beforehand. She was basically retelling the story, and the Secret Service is refuting some of her story. So I want to know if she lied, even unknowingly. Like, did she get something wrong?
What was interesting, the only thing they were refuting was that he grabbed the steering wheel and had that altercation and grabbed the guy by the Secret Service by the collarbone. They never disputed that he was on his way to the Capitol.
And mind you, the acts okay, but they didn't say he wasn't belligerent and all these other things. So and not to mention, thank you, Scoo Man. There's another story too that we have to get into after this one. That Meadows may have given her a call, but he's refuting that too, saying he didn't. But we'll see. Becca, what you get?
I get that maybe something to do with a dispute or an altercation here, because she's pretty firm and good to go on what she said, but there's something here about a dispute or an altercation. So I'm not sure if, because the information she got about the dispute in the vehicle was secondhand information, even though I think the person was there in the room, you know. So to answer the question, this is saying no, she's her success has been achieved, and then there's criticism about the dispute here. So I'm getting a no. And if those people have issues, go under oath. What I say.
Yeah. I get, there are men with a different perspective on that now, that are trying to come forward here, because she presented tangible information that was supposed to be hush-hush secret stuff. But I got her information was secure. She had knowledge of it, and she shed illumination all over Trump. I get no liar card. I get, she heard them, talking and everything. I was cracking up. I was like, what an idiot Mark Meadows is to leave his door open all the time so she can hear everything. It was like, oh my God, just shut your door every now and then. She offered it all up, and they're just trying to block her. They're trying to confuse the situation and make it look like she doesn't know what she's, but I get, nope, she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
From her perspective, at least.
For yes, no, I get no. She did not lie. But there is information in their little group in the government that she had. Mind you, this was not her information to have. So this is not something that she was even, this is not something she needed to know. But this is something she knew. She got it firsthand, though. So it's like whoever she got it from was involved in the situation. So it's not like this was a game of telephone to where by the time it got to you, it was completely changed and, that type of thing. No, I don't get a lie. I get there now, mind you, there might be a detail or two that's skewed. Like she could say he tried to grab the steering wheel. Okay, maybe he didn't try to grab the steering wheel. Maybe he was trying to grab their hands. Okay, it's something very small, very, very minute. She didn't lie under oath. So my second question is,
supposedly the Secret Service driver talked to, I think it was CNN, and said, yes, he did try to grab the steering wheel.
The driver?
The driver off the record supposedly said, yes, he did. So the other, Ornato and what was the other guy's name? I forget his name. They're, they were gossiping around her in the White House and talking about it, and shouldn't have been. Now they're trying to change their story. They say they'll testify to the committee. Yeah, right. We're holding our breath.
And was the car moving, I wonder? Because that could have been game over right there.
It would have caused an accident. If the story is the way that she's saying, which according to the cards, she's telling the truth, he could have caused a serious accident by trying to launch himself to this. Did you forget that you can steer the car all you want, but there's these things called a gas pedal and a brake pedal? You know what I mean? Like,
okay, we're not moving. What are you doing?
This isn't your clown car, Trump. Can you imagine if he had gone to the Capitol and how much more riled up these people would have been? I mean, they would have killed somebody.
I almost wish he would have gone. That way we get absolute proof you were tied to these people.
Yeah.
That way, all this Jan 6, we wouldn't even need all that. Boom, he was there. He was pointing out, leading people, all this type of stuff. There's your.
Knew they were armed.
Get him.
Yeah.
Okay, so did Meadows attempt to intimidate Cassidy Hutchinson? Her name is Hutchinson, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Did he try to intimidate? He says he did not. And Liz Cheney, I believe, said that there was a phone call made to her.
Yes.
And so, did he try to intimidate her? Lord, how many cards I pulled? Can't count. There we go.
I get it's a lawyer. Trying to intimidate her. I get the Trump family watching all this, and I get a no on Meadows. I get he walked away from it, from her. But I get the Trump family putting a lawyer up to transitioning her testimony here, and Trump influenced it directly, as he has many, many times. So I get no. I get there's squabble about it and everything, but. It's going to come out because I got temperance. It's going to come out. Somebody's going to shine a light on this, on who did it. But I get it. I get it's a lawyer.
I get someone that's in the organizational chart that was being paid somehow. There was someone that was, what do you call it? I can't think, Johnny. I'm sorry. Consulting. Someone in the consulting. So perhaps like a lawyer, yeah, but not him directly.
I get the same thing. Get the same person. Queen of Swords. There's a woman or an attorney or something of that nature. He called her, but there was no intimidation, I guess you call it. the Ace of Cups and the Lovers, it was more like, remember, we're on the same side type thing. We are one. We are family. We are this type. We're in harmony. He was trying to send subliminals with the High Priestess, like we're on the same side. But this person was trying to halt the progress. So whoever this person is was more along the lines of intimidation to the point. Because it's kind of like if you never get a letter from a lawyer, you might find it scary. You might find it off-putting or whatever the case may be, because, oh my God, is somebody suing me? Is somebody coming after me? Da, 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 type of thing. So it was meant as intimidation from this person. There was a attack dog, basically.
It's kind of like getting a letter from the IRS, you know, when they sent the subsidy checks. I was like, ooh, IRS is like, oh, subsidy check. No, not IRS.
So my other question is, will her testimony open the floodgates for other witnesses to come forward?
Good point, lucky girl. A lawyer might try to plead attorney-client privilege so they can't tie it back to Trump.
That's my next question.
Ooh, what's this one?
This question, will her testimony open the floodgates for more witnesses? Thank you, Joanne. It's rumored that more people will feel empowered now that she has testified.
Well, it's rumored that 2 more aides came forward and said she was telling the truth, but they aren't naming them, like they're keeping their names confidential. Ooh, somebody that's got some secrets was watching this closely and sense of nostalgia, like, yeah, maybe that should be me too with everything I know. Wheel of Fortune, something's getting ready to change. Yeah, I get judgment and victory card on that. I'm getting two more people will come forward with direct things on Trump. He's showing up as the fool again. Trump and security. Trump and his Secret Service.
I'm getting someone that may have been a little bit more privy to a dangerous man that perhaps was involved with little people. I don't know if this is Peanut Butter or Oath Creepers or another militia group, but it's a dangerous man. So I don't know if this is somebody that they already have by the balls and they're just going to just spill all the beans like, well, Flynn told me to do this and I was in charge of doing this other thing, or, you know, Stone told me to do this. Like, it's a dangerous man that's going to, you know.
Get your nutcrackers out and pipe them up.
There is, yes, the 7 of Swords and the King of Swords. There's a, like Becca said, dangerous man. There's some sort of sneaky man they're going to talk about. This person's coming forward. They used to work there. They were very reliable. I do feel as though with the 8 of Cups that they either left early or left the administration early or something like that. But yeah, somebody's coming forward. They do have pieces to put together. Like they can tie in some story or loose ends or something.
What's that spider card?
This is the Knight of Pentacles.
Got a lot of
Mm-hmm.
arms into everything.
And this is why, because the devil's here too. This person is more. They have a lot more to add to this situation. They were either privy to a lot more information, or they were always in the Oval Office. Even if you didn't know them, they were around. So it could be someone you didn't notice because they weren't, bringing you Diet Coke or whatever the case may be. But the King of Swords, they were always around them in their sphere somewhere, because the Knight of Pentacles is the reliable one, always there. Chariot was too. That's the worker. So they're always there. They got information, and I think they are going to come forward. Interesting. So since we're on this fool, let's keep talking about Donald Trump then. I got 2 questions for him. First, can we do a general July reading? How will the rest of this month go for Donald Trump?
Because his astrology is getting really bad.
Donald Trump, July. July. Thought this card said Napoleon. That is not what that says.
Surprise! Something else tangible is coming out, and there's the tower on him. It's something he's been holding very close to his chest. He's going to get extremely emotional. It's something about bullying somebody, pushing somebody into something, but it's truth, and it's like nail in the coffin.
I did a box spread, so I'll try to make it short. Across the top, it's Storks, Lily's Tower. Oh, okay. Across the middle, it's Birds, Man, Moon, and across the bottom, Sea, Mountain, and Snake. There is something very, 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 very important in regards to meetings and conversations that were had in regards to the insurrection. He's thinking that he's going to be okay, but his strategy is to continue to delay and block something. But there's a slew of legal issues coming up for him. Across the top, there is also something that may have taken place with a person or persons that were higher up, perhaps retired, veteran status within a certain institution. Those people were not officially there, but they were kind of there. Does that make sense with Storks, Lilies, and Tower? So I don't know if that's in reference to like a Mike Flynn or something like that, because there's something there in regards to the insurrection with a person of that status. Also, perhaps involving the courts and judges to overturn something. He is getting quite agitated about what he's hearing on the news in regards to his fame. People calling him a liar and this, that, and the other thing, because it's Birds and Snake. So he's being recognized as a liar. You know, he's not happy with that. And his answer is to continue to delay and complete and continue to lie, which is not new. The corners are talking about the insurrection to the Capitol with Storks, Tower, and then Snake and Key. The insurrection in the Capitol, all of the lies and trouble and betrayals will be answered. They will get the answer. The committee will have what they're looking for. It's going to completely change his persona or how he's viewed. And it's going to cause him big trouble. But overall, it's just problems because the box spread ends with this Snake. So hearings in the court, and then lying about meetings as well. Oh, problematic. meetings that are happening, but and also people lying to the courts about the meetings, if that's making any sense. So that's what I get. And that was a quick and dirty.
Thank you, Beatrice, and thank you, Chris. And thank you, Lisa, for reposting the questions too. I get the Ace of Wands and the Magician. He is manipulating something or trying to start some action of manipulation. I mean, that's his MO, but this is new. It has something to do with trying to secure funds for something from a group or for a group. So maybe it's got something to do with his group Truth Social, and that the stocks or whatever is tanking and the value of it is tanking because they did business with a criminal. That's what happens. So it's like there's
Are they under federal investigation too right now, Johnny? I believe so.
He's trying to secure funds for some group here. They also might be a group of people with weapons. So this could be Proud Boys or the other ones, because there's a question on the list too about where their money is coming from. Sidney Powell's nonprofit may be funding them, they say. There's 4 swords, my America card, and the 10 of Wands. He's also trying to secure a nomination, but is also having trouble doing that for some reason or another. The 10 of Wands, he's not going about it the right way. The 4 of Wands and the Knight of Wands, there's moving house or something. Thank you, Letitia. I got this in a different reading, and I think his little tableau thing. I don't know if he's trying to move residents or what he's trying to do, but there's some sort of house shifting, and it could even just be the name on the house, but something is shifting property-wise too. And he's also
Trump Tower, Trump dump.
There's also some sort of intimidation that he is doing. There's a woman involved in that too. Dark hair, dark skin, or dark eyes, or something around in there. So there's a person here that he is trying to intimidate or is trying to bully. It's not working either because he doesn't actually have the power to do so with the 10 of Wands. So, but that'll be obvious. So it's probably like a Letitia James or something. So that part will be obvious, but he's not very successful with that. I don't see any real dangers and troubles or anything. It's just his regular old garbage, but there you go.
I was wondering about what you were saying about changing residence. Well, isn't it that he cannot stay at Mar-a-Lago year round, correct? Isn't that like a law? So he
tends to stay in New Jersey at Bedminster in the summer because it's too hot in Florida in the summer.
Because I thought there was also something there where he couldn't permanently live there.
He's not supposed to be able to. But he can't go to Trump Tower because they hate him in New York.
So here's okay. Try to boil this down to this. When the Jan 6 thing is completed, when the hearings, thank you, Katie, when the hearings are completed, their whole thing, the whole committee, the whole thing, when the whole thing is completed, will Donald Trump be satisfied?
Ooh, good way to put it. Different twist.
When the hearings are complete, will he be satisfied?
All I can say is run, Melania, run. While you can. he's going to be caught. Everything that he's done, there's just an abundance of stuff that is life changing, and he's a loser. He lost to Biden. And I do get he watches the hearings, but when it's all said and done, all the illumination on the government, as well as him, I get like even he gets emotional and starts bullying Melania. So like he's attacking everybody. Anybody that's near him, he's just junk going after him. In the press, he's going to act like he's all victorious, which is what he always does. He's going to lie.
I get no. He is not going to be happy. Perhaps not just because, the truth is out there, but because it'll be a way to stop him from getting gifts. So if something comes out of the committee that ends up somewhere else to ban him from ever running again, your gig is up. Because this is gifts end. You see what I'm saying? Happiness ends. So he's not going to be happy.
I got 3 people to start with. So I'm like, okay, this is why I hate court cards sometimes. It's like there's 3 people here, but there's nobody in the government called Queen of Pentacles, so you have to use your imagination there. Now, this one, though, comes with the Wheel of Fortune. There's a man in time after the natural change has completed. There's a man here who is the head of something coming to get you. This person will coming to get you. He's coming to get you. He's coming after you. He's that next person that has something to say to you. So he's the head of something. So like the DOJ or something like that. So he doesn't, he's not like the prosecutor himself. He's the leader of a group of something. So he dictates orders to people. The Page of Swords, the Magician, and the 10 of Pentacles, the family had better watch out. And the business is also going to suffer a lot too, especially the things that he is just manipulating, like his Truth Social and stuff like that. He did not create a social media platform. Somebody else did, and he stuck his name on it, that type of thing. So, but this is not just that. These can be his things from banks too. So like his Trump properties, his golf courses, his towers, and all that type of stuff that his name is just on, some of those. So there's a bunch of stuff here that is going to suffer because of the negativity around this. But no, he is actually not going to be satisfied. His hope and inspiration, this is combinations you don't want to see, is coming with the 10 of Wands. This compounds, actually. My only issue is, okay, TikTok, but still, this compounds. His hope is weighed down. So we'll see. We will see. Okay, jumping to, I found the place now, the one I was going to start with. The El Salvador president. Which I won't get into all. This was in the community post. And I'm like, well, we've never done a reading like this, so let's do this one. He is facing a gang. God dang it, I just lost it again. The president, okay. It's a gang called 18S. That's the code name they have put on it. 18-S or S18. They have just killed 3 police officers there. And this has been a pattern of behavior. They've done the same in 2 other states of Mexico, and they have arrested 40,000 gang members in those other places. He says the human rights organizations are not helping, and he went on a 20-minute tirade about nobody's helping, nobody's doing anything, but we're going to come get you because you can't get away with this, this, and this, and this. So will he be successful in combating the street gang that just murdered the police officers? I might have to do another reading on him because he also just used government funds to buy Bitcoin. So, so he's one of them. But he's fighting a gang war right now. So will he be successful? Not just Bitcoin, but $19,000 worth of Bitcoin.
So this gang is in multiple countries.
Yes.
I get there's going to be more deaths caused by the gang. It's like he's burdened to work with anybody else. He needs to partner up with other countries and stuff to find all these people. He needs to partner up with law enforcement and stuff, FBI or the equivalent, that type intelligence in other countries. Because I get like overseas or other countries. There's going to be more deaths and strength on that. There's going to be a lot more deaths steadily, but he's having trouble partnering. If he would partner with some other countries, there's an opportunity to get like one of the leaders. Thank you, Lisa, for reposting the questions. I love that.
I get that it's too widespread. It's vast suffering. Then he might be able to make a little bit of headway, but it's not something that's going to be super impactful, if that makes sense. It's too widespread. So, and like Jenny was saying, partnering with other countries and stuff. Yeah, but a lot of those other countries are excessively corrupt. So it's like
he has two examples in the community post of two countries that just arrested 40,000. It's like there's a way, but he's isolated for whatever reason. I didn't read that far into it, but there's the hermit, there's isolation in the Six of Cups. He's going to have to get back into the coalitions that he was in before, because he can't do it by himself. So there's your governments, there's your world, and there's your group. So he has to partner with somebody. I don't know who exactly, because he was complaining that the world, or the world human rights organizations are not helping, and they won't help, and you're horrible people, this and that and this and that. But I don't know exactly how he's reaching out, or if he's reaching out. Like I said, I didn't read that much into it. I just found it a change from our American garbage and dwell in somebody else's for just a second. Okay, Tina Peters. Speaking of garbage, she's okay. First, let's look at this first. What is her fate? Because let's look at that second. She said, according to her, that Lauren Boebert encouraged her to commit crimes.
Is she the one that was responsible for the election
fraud over? Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
she was being funded by My Pillow guy and all that stuff too. She said Lauren Boebert, this is from her, mind you, encouraged her to commit crimes.
Okay, so can I ask, who is this Peters woman?
She was the election county commissioner or something like that.
Yeah, for the county.
So she was an election county commissioner who got busted for election fraud, and now is saying Lauren Boebert told her to do it.
Well, not that. I didn't read that part. She's saying Lauren Boebert encouraged her to commit crimes, not necessarily election fraud. She said crimes. And Lauren Boebert, of course, is saying, no, I didn't. But
I think she's running for a higher office, too, in the state.
Yeah, because her campaign is being investigated because she took too much money from Mike Lindell. Because in Colorado, if he is not your relative or a very close friend, he can't give you more than $85 or something like that. And he's given her $100,000 or $300,000 or something crazy. And mind you, he admitted so. So it's not like So
let me make sure you get investigated.
If the person was like, well, how much did you give her? I don't know, $1, $2, $3, $800,000 or something. I'm like,
but to be fair, he lives out of state. She lives in state and should know that she can't take that much. Shame on her for taking it.
So she claims Lauren Boebert encouraged her to commit crimes. So is it true?
What is her name again, Johnny? Trisha
Tina
Peters?
Peters. Tina Peters.
With a last name like that, Bobert would be happy to escort her around. Sorry.
Working 9 to 5.
What a way to make a living.
Did she encourage you to commit crimes?
Ring, ring, phone call. I'm not happy about how this is going. You know, somebody's like getting too many votes there. You know, let's just crash and burn a few votes or something. Yes, she did it. And she's lying about it if she says she didn't. I also get there's other Republicans in secret that told her to do something.
Yeah, NP says she did lose her race, so she's not going to be anything but in trouble.
But she's indicted already, right? She ran as an indicted candidate.
Well, they're all gonna. I mean, look at how many were at the insurrection that are running.
No, but how in the hell can you be put in a position like that with a criminal record? Is what it is.
Look at Texas.
You can't even freaking vote, Johnny, but yet you can run for office.
Mm-hmm.
Texas AG has crimes that he has been indicted for that haven't gone to trial yet because he's the Texas AG.
Yeah, he was indicted 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I think. Whatever.
Meanwhile, you can't work at a bank and be indicted and have a felon and all these type. But you can run a country, Mike.
You can be the attorney general of a state, Johnny,
yes.
with indictment.
Thank you, me, myself, and I.
Thank
I
you.
don't get Lauren Boebert so much as something to do with the man. So I don't know who this is. So it may have been a messenger, some sort of a messenger conveying something about a very irritable, confused man. But I'm getting a man, not necessarily Lauren Boebert. And I'm not saying it's Mike Lindell either. It could be somebody else, a Rudy Giuliani, a freaking pick one, pick a criminal. But I'm getting a man, not
Boebert's husband.
Who knows?
Yeah, Ken
it's an inside person, but I don't get a woman. I only pulled 6 cards, but I don't get her. There's the Moon in the 10 of Swords, and then there's the Page of Swords in the Chariot. So it's like I don't. She's in here somewhere, but she's not directly responsible. It's like a Trump thing.
It's like Trump. It's
yeah.
Like, let me get my friend of a friend of a friend to call you.
Because there's the Sun and the 3 of Swords, so there is something horrible there, but she is not directly responsible. Okay. Well, so what is?
Why is she trying to throw Boebert under the bus, though?
All of a sudden.
That's kind of funny, I think. I think that's hilarious.
So I want to know her fate. Can we use our magic cards and predict her future? Since she is indicted, what is her
she
fate?
lost her primary for Secretary of State, so she's not going to be in office. And she can't have anything to do with elections again.
And she's still being investigated for her campaign fraud with Mike Lindell.
So,
The company.
what's her name? Tina Peters?
Tina Peters.
Anxious, you think?
Just a little bit.
Uh-oh. Here comes mouse breath. Fluffy butt.
Had a little Tom and Jerry episode. Except she called hers.
Eventually. After I yelled at her, she wasn't finished with her job. And to come finish it. Let's see. You know, she has lost in the government and in the justice system. She is set up to lose her case, everything. She's trying to partner with somebody for some work. But yeah, she's in defense mode. She's very emotional right now. There's something else that's going to come out about her and Republicans. There's something else that she's holding close to her chest. There's something else she's done. She's in big trouble.
I get that. I don't know if you can see this. It's ring, bear, fox, stars, and key. Central to the reading is the fox, so it's telling me investigations and manipulation and fraud. So investigations into her financial agreements, financial contracts get investigated, and also not just that, but how it all links in together to a bigger, widespread, more vast investigation that she becomes a key part of. So because this investigation is vast and broad, and then very significant, and there's answers here. With the ring, the fox, and the key, the union of people that were working together that need to answer something or provide answers, or those people become key. An agreement to defraud becomes very important here. And also something about the financing and how widespread it was, if that makes sense. So all three of those things is what I'm seeing. So I don't see jail right away. I just see that it links into something broader than her little role. If that makes sense.
I get there is something she's holding close to the chest with the Four of Pentacles that is about to come out in the worst way ever. Not only, but this is the rice. Now I can't talk. Horse and rider from the death card. And so it's like something is also changing, but in a dramatic way. Very, very quick, very, very fast. Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. She's sharing information on some woman here. Now, she does have, this is also kind of ripe with lies as well, because most of this she's saying is just trying to save her own behind, because things are about to be very, very heavy for her. The Six of Swords, she's going to have a very, very rough time. She's still in the stormy seas right now. She ain't in the calm water just yet. But she's going through that. In the Seven of Pentacles, she's going to have to assess her situation. This is just starting. This ain't harvest time just yet. So she's got a lot, but she's also going to lie. She's trying to flip, but at the same time, she's trying to make it sound worse for somebody else. Like the Lowen Berber thing. Like, oh, she tried to make me do crimes, and she came to my house and punched me in the ponytail type of thing. So it's one of them type of weird things to where she's gonna make up all kinds of stories. But I mean, anybody hang out with Mike Lindell's got to be a little dual alley. So I mean, there you go.
So what
Like,
you're
honey,
saying,
if you need a job, Sugar Daddies is hiring.
So what you're saying, Johnny, it's one of those, if I'm going down, I'm taking everybody with me.
Yeah.
Sort of. Mm-hmm.
She's gonna put a hook in a little bit of everybody. So you know, I can't. The company you keep.
I'm here for it.
Let's see. Did my thing post? I don't even know if it did. Terry, if I seen your question in the email, will you repost it again for me? Because I didn't write it down. Because we're about to go into that direction. Are they really going to be pregnancy tests for women traveling from state to state, permitting abortions? I'm going to sit this one out.
I'm going to sit this one out, if you don't mind. Simply because I read that story earlier in my head, it's in a bad place regarding that whole.
Because I got one more question on that too.
So what I'm assuming this is probably Texas and Missouri, states like that, wanting to do
Pregnancy tests for women leaving the state.
Because what are you going to do? Sit in the middle of the freeway and stop me and say, "Hey, where are you going? Are you going to have an abortion? Let me take." Like,
wait, you're going to force me to pee now.
you know. So
I can't.
You're going to force me to pee on a stick now, so you can get your little pregnancy test. Yeah, no.
Pregnancy is beginning with the penis. Start there. Snip, snip.
And mind you, this is not even something police want to do. So it's not even like you got a bunch of police stations out there just on board with trying to flag people down.
And what about airports, Johnny?
Yeah, they're going to check every young person in the airport.
Every female is going to take a freaking pregnancy. Are you effing kidding me?
They don't require COVID tests, but they're going to require pregnancy tests.
This is coming from the same people that were my body, my choice over wearing a mask on your face during a deadly airborne pandemic.
Don't put your vaccine in me and don't put your mask on my face.
But force me to have a child.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Man. Mm-mm-mm.
I get it's just talk right now. It's going to throw some chaos in here, and it's like burdening things, burdening women, not things, burdening women. It's an image that they're trying to project. And I get they're going to have to sit this one out because women are going to just blow up. So I get a no that they're not going to be able to for right now. However, I do get for traveling women, they will try to do something else to burden them. So there's something else new besides that they may try to do.
I wonder how many lawsuits that's going to create. Because the Supreme Court said one thing, but now you've taken it to a whole different level. Now you're infringing upon that. I mean, the Supreme Court took away the women's civil rights with that ruling, but this is taking it a step further.
Yeah, this is Big Brother. I need to know where you're going, who you're seeing, and what you're doing when you travel across the state line.
But hey, we're the party of small government.
Yeah.
We're the party of get the hell out of here. Sorry, Johnny.
I got the Page of Swords, so there's a no. This will not be the High Priestess and the Star. There's actually going to be some improvements when it comes to healthcare in this situation and anonymity with the High Priestess too. There is a man here, though, of course, with the good, there is the bad, who is still trying. He's got plants in the ground trying to do the most extreme thing, and not just a man, but leaders, I should say.
Hot Wheels?
In him and the rest of them that are just like him, just look different. That's all. Like from Arkansas to Tennessee to Alabama to all these weird states called red states. They're all going to have some little, because mind you, the next story is the 10-year-old girl who went to Indiana. Indiana's now working on their thing. So,
there was
I will go into all the goriness of it all, but if somebody knows the story, you can explain it in the chat. So what I want to know is what are the effects of her situation going to have on this whole situation?
I'm gonna sit this one out just because my.
Do you remember what state
she was from? Oklahoma, wasn't she?
Ohio. Ohio.
So she's going one state over to.
Yeah.
For those in the chat that do not know, there was the recent case. Ohio has passed draconian anti-abortion laws with no exceptions to rape or incest. And there was a doctor with a young female in his office who was 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant at the age of 10 years old. 10 years old, the victim of sexual assault, pregnant, a 10-year-old. Because Jesus said it would be a good idea and it would be a blessing from God to get pregnant at 10 years old. As a result,
it's probably somebody in her family, at 10.
I can't. It just made me sick when I read that story. made
It's
me.
probably not just assault, it's probably incest.
I know. You're gonna force a 10-year-old child to carry a child to term to continue that. I can't. Yeah, Terry's saying it in the chat. There was a 10-year-old girl in Ohio that got raped and pregnant, and Ohio won't grant her an abortion, so they had to take her to Indiana. But a lot of these states are pushing those draconian laws with no exceptions to rape, incest, none of it. It's like, well, you're pregnant, time to have the kid because Jesus. I'll be right back.
Yep, they're going to try to do some sort of travel ban thing here, the Republicans, and also anyone that pays for someone to have the work done, i.e. an abortion, they're going to burden the crap out of also. So if there's organizations helping to pay to get people across the state line or whatever, they're going to try to burden them, whether it's a fine or something. They're completely imbalanced. It's all going to change later, after the elections, because it's gonna make people come out and vote in droves.
I got Knight of Swords in the tower. There's something here about violent attack, so there's that already. Six of Wands in the Moon. This story is prominent, but the problem is the places it needs to be with the moon, it's being obscured. So this is something that you need to be playing on Fox News type thing, because their audience needs to see the effect of such a thing. They don't need to see the little girl and all that, but they do need to hear the story. They do need to hear, well, what would you have done type thing. They need those scenarios in their atmosphere, like this is real life for somebody. And so the King of Wands, Five of Swords, Eight of Wands, there is that travel ban too. That Eight of Wands going from place to place, and the Five of Swords, and the King of Wands, some leader trying to bully travel. There might be an exception that is made with death and judgment. Judgment is something, judgment could be actual judgment around children. So like small people, not babies though. So like in her case, 10 years old or whatever the case may be. So there is something that is possibly going to come out from this. Now, there was a comment underneath one of the videos I was watching that said, because people were saying, healthcare and abortion affects everybody. And person in the comments was like, well, it doesn't affect everybody because it doesn't affect the super rich, because they're going to find a way to do what they want to do. And I agree. But at the same time, I will also say, like I said last week, there is no such thing as them. All it's going to really take for you, if you are the super rich crowd and you do something weird like chicken fighting or something, even though it's illegal, let's say it's not. All it takes is another group with more power than you, not even more numbers than you, because the Supreme Court is 9 people. So all it takes is somebody with more power than you to say whatever it is you're doing with the chicken fight, you can't no longer do. So there is no real them. It's going to always be us. And so if they can take my rights and you don't care, they're going to come take yours too, because ain't nobody there to stop you.
That's right.
So it's there. I think something possible could come out of this. So hopefully. So a second question or third question or however many on this one, somebody asked in the community post, and I looked into this too. And it's quite interesting. So will the tax laws change because of this? Because right now your unborn child is not a person, says the IRS. It has to be born into the world and it has to live with you for 6 months or whatever the
before
amount
you can claim it.
Yes, or if you have split custody, it has to be a 50-50 thing. So will the tax laws change? Because your unborn child right now is not a person, says the IRS.
Sure, because you're going to have extra medical bills
Yes.
Because you're not like a one and done, you're going to have 9 months of medical bills.
It's like I can't do tax rebates or tax write-off, but this thing is still costing me money. So, well, the tax laws change. Yeah, and child support too. Hey, it's your child, remember? And why not healthcare? It's feeding off of me. So, all tax laws change. Because after 6 weeks, don't you owe me child support?
Lucy, you are not giving me enough room to spread cards, big girl.
Thank you, Impish.
I get they're trying to do something. They'll try to do something like, there's going to be gaslighting around this with the Republicans yakking. They're going to try to do something like I get like a bigger tax rebate, but then it gets blocked. So no.
I get the star and the ace of cups. Some voice we hear all the time, like a AOC or something like that. They are actually going to bring this up. They're going to make an issue out of this. Here's my America card, though, and then the hangman, so it does stall. I mean, it doesn't really go anywhere. It's 6 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is my taxes card. So somebody will be talking about this. It's just not going to go very far. But at the very least, put it out there. I mean, if you want to be, you can't have rights, then okay, pay me.
Mind you, these are the same people that tried to cut lunches for kids in school that need
pro-life.
But pro-life, just F them when you're born.
Rape, if you have DNA, is very easy to prove, right? Who did it? Mm-hmm. So why aren't they passing laws to permanently neutralize the men, do vasectomies on the men that commit rape?
Because you obviously cannot control yourself or use this thing properly, so you don't need one.
If you're attacking a 10-year-old girl, then let's pass some laws that any man that gets convicted.
That's too nice. It should be.
That's what I'm saying. You can't use this. This is not for you anymore. You don't know what you're doing. Chop.
Then put it in a blender and force feed it to you. Okay, like that's how people I would get.
And I don't even have horns, and I think that's nice. Go for it.
We don't even have to do it surgically. We can just, get a little guillotine out and
snip. Garden tools work just fine.
Go get those scissors they give to kids, so it makes it hard to cut. That way, no clean break. Just when you're more together. Well, goodness gracious, and go from this angle, come up under here. Just take it off. You're not a responsible person. You don't need this. Okay.
Nope, you don't have impulse control. We're gonna take your toy away.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of taking toys away, John Eastman. Okay, I laughed way too hard at that video. It was not even that funny, but it was like they're like taking his hands and like this is how he put her hands. It's like,
I want to see the warrant. I want to see the warrant.
I want to see the warrant.
They're almost like, here you go.
The only video that was funnier was Giuliani in the video where I was slapped so hard that even the person next to me lost her balance, and I'm like, the guy patted him on the back and called him derogatory names.
some
John
choice
Eastman. And I want to see the warrant. I want you to note that they showed me the warrant after they took them. They don't have to show you the warrant before they take
At all. They don't
You're
have
a
to
lawyer.
read
You're
your
supposed to
Miranda
know
rights
that.
anymore
And-
either.
Yeah, you don't have your Miranda rights anymore either. So good luck with that, homeboy.
They could have just put cuffs on you too and put you in the car, and you don't have any rights anymore. So, oh Lord. Okay, so what I want to know, I was a lawyer on Ari Melber's show, I believe, who was saying for this to happen, there was a few things that had to be going on, and I forget all the other ones because I just wrote the question for this one. He said somebody had to turn him in or rat him out, because how do you know something's on his phone? How do you know to look here for this thing or those things or whatever? So did somebody rat him out? Because this was the Inspector General's office. So did somebody rat him out?
Which tells you with the Inspector General's office, because they investigate crimes like in the DOJ or ethics issues in the DOJ, tells you that he was probably had something on his phone in relationship to Jeffrey Clark.
Yeah. So it was a domino effect. He didn't.
Or
He couldn't.
somebody in DOJ.
Mess.
I love lawyers getting lawyers. I just love it. Make attorneys get attorneys.
Oh Lord, where's that?
I'm getting a lot of 3 cards. I think there's like 3 people around him that may have seen something on his phone. So surprise, we're taking your phone. Yes, somebody saw something on his phone, and it stood out. It really stood out. Whatever it was. I was trying to get what it is. Something about, bullying the election, trying to change from Biden. Something, so whether it was the new electors, I think it's something to do with the elections. So probably about the fake electors.
I don't get that someone ratted him out, because here's the mice right in the middle, ratted. I don't think somebody ratted him out. I think it was what do you call it? Like I don't want to say records, but like the metadata or something in technology. Do you see what am I trying to say, Johnny?
That makes sense to me.
Or like encrypted.
Encrypted. It's something in technology that's missing, but they already have it, and they know that the missing link is him. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, I don't know if it's 1 or zeros, not so much phone records, because letter doesn't show up in this reading. It's like the
cash.
Yeah, like something like the cash or something like that. Not cash as in money, but like the cash as in
His computer.
The best part was they took a picture of him to use for the facial identification so they could unlock his phone.
Oh, wow.
Because he had facial recognition as opposed to like a fingerprint or something. So they took a picture of him so they could use it to unlock his phone.
Damn.
Yeah, so there's something in like metadata or cache or something electronically that was missing, and that's how they were able to identify him, or that they looked into detail with. A team of people looked into detail with this and were able to identify, if that makes any sense, what I'm trying to say.
So there's someone here who had a change of scripts. There is the Hangman and the Ace of Wands. There is a new action because of respective change. This is interesting with this card. It's the Judgment card. Normally the angel, they put the devil.
It's put the devil out.
So someone calling forth the resurrection. So this is, but it comes with the Knight of Swords, and this is the Death card. So there's
Guess where
Somebody
you're
did.
going? You're not going to heaven. You're going down there.
I'm coming to get you. So Becca came to get her children after all. So it's like,
Round them all up.
There's the Hierophant and the Nine of Swords, and that Hierophant is the emperor after he has derobed, and then the Nine of Swords. So it's whoever it is was in charge of something or was prominent within the government, and this person's very worried about their own future, and so they're having this drowning man effect. And so, not actually, because that's someone saving someone, then drowning. It's some pulling you down effect. They're doing it on purpose.
I wonder whatever happened to the other guy, Johnny. Nobody's heard anything about him. Because it was John Eastman, Jeffrey Clark, and then that other guy that was the intermediary that was brand new that they kind of shoved in there really quietly.
I don't know that.
His name came up briefly when they did Clark. What was his name?
Kosovich or
his name sounded like KKK. It sounded like Ku Klux Klan. We haven't heard anything about him.
Russian. Y'all help us out. What was that guy's name?
Ken Klukrowski or something like that. Ken Klukrowski, something.
Kublakowski or something like that.
Your chat will know. They know everything. They'll know.
Y'all know. Help us out. Somebody Google it for us.
Klukowski.
Because I had never heard of that guy either. It's like, who is that? Here's another player.
Girl just said Klukowski. See,
I mean, not to disrespect nobody's heritage, but if that was my name, I'd change it.
His name was Ken Klukowski, and nobody's heard anything about him because he's the one that actually wrote that letter and gave it to Jeffrey Clark under the order of Eastman to do it.
Mm.
So
what is Eastman's future? What's coming up for him now that's
for Klukowski?
For Eastman.
Oh, for Eastman.
Yes, what's coming up for him now?
You got Pat Cipollone is testifying to him Wednesday, I think. Klukowski. Ooh, something else is going to come out on Eastman. MAGA, attorneys getting attorneys. It's something involving Trump I'm getting here, something about the timing and other Republicans that were involved in this betrayal and this insurrection, the bully card. Somebody's going to whistleblow something else that just makes him extremely nervous. So somebody's going to say something else, deep hidden secret. It's going to really take him by surprise. Someone that he's connected to, money, maybe even transportation that was involved in this. the insurrection and trying to block, Biden from coming in. But I get money, something about money. Lawyer up and buckle up.
I did a box spread on him for the next 3 months, and the top column across is Key Woman Clover. The second one is Clouds Man Tower. The last is Book, Cross and Dog. There's a very, 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 very important woman that's right on his mind. That she might get a little bit lucky. I don't know who that is. I don't know if he had communications with crazy lady over there married to what's his face in the Supreme Court. I don't know. It says that he is in a world of trouble, heading to court, into the law, also very isolated. And there's something very, very difficult, a burdensome secret that he has with someone else. Or it could be a group of people, but it looks like he throws somebody under the bus, or he throws a few people under the bus, because it's Book, Cross, and Dog, and it sits below him. So the woman throws him under the bus, and he in turn throws somebody else under the bus. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like the trifecta of people getting tossed under the bus. Something very important going on for him in the courts, but he is specifically targeted and isolated. His luck is completely worn out. There's a lot of sorrow around him, and he's gonna suffer. He suffers. There's something really important here about a win or some sort of a risk or an opportunity for another person, someone that was a loyalist of some sort, either to him or somebody else that has even more knowledge. That's the person they're going to throw under the bus. But there's also people within government. He's going to have to find himself a really good lawyer because of that last column, Clover, Tower, and Dog. But the lawyers kind of have their hands tied. Does that make sense? Because of what the knowledge of what has been brought up with Book, Cross, and Dog. So, okay, you can lawyer up, but they're going to have a hard time showing that you're innocent just because of the evidence, the sheer amount of evidence that's there. But it looks like a woman, him, and then somebody else. So I don't know if like a Ginny Thomas was pressuring him, because she sits right on top of his head, and then it's him and then that other person. So I don't know.
So I did a box spread too.
Oh, fun.
And he's got secrets in the middle. So like Jen said, a whole bunch of stuff is about to come out. Right in the middle, High Priestess. Above is Magician and Six of Swords. So, or below is Six of Swords. So this is coming out reluctantly. So this is stuff that they're pulling from him, not something he's giving up. But the problem is it's like you pull the cork out and then it all comes flying out. So once they find whatever this thing is, there's it's heavy. It's a lot. It's a bunch of stuff. I mean, why? Get your words. So the Ace of Wands, the Magician, and the Strength. There's also something about there's a bunch of phone calls too, and a bunch of records of those that are going to be documented or that's going to play against him. There's also one that has something, not that he did it, but something to do with intimidation, strong intimidation. So he could have been on the phone with the Proud Boys or somebody like that, someone who does these type of things. Because there's also a question on here, which we probably won't get to, but about the Proud Boys, or no, the Oath Keepers, I think it was, saying that Donald Trump was going to federalize us. He was going to make us his own private militia within the government. So there's some sort of manipulation with violent people or something of that nature there too. So I don't know if he's got some sort of call that was made to those in particular people or not. There's a page of
kind of like the Satan also has his own little private army.
And William Barr, when he was in there, he had one. the Page of Cups and High Priestess and the Chariot, there's also something in his car or about his car that is also either going to be searched or tagged or something. There's something about his actual car that is also going to come out too, or maybe even a rental car or something of that nature too. So there's some secrets around automobiles, or not the movement necessarily of something, but it's the car itself. Tower, 6 of Swords, 4 Wands. There is, he may also have knowledge about the violence. So he's got something to do with Jan 6 too, somehow or another. Or he knows knowledge of, not that he planned it, but
Like he knew they were coming with weapons.
Yes, he knew, because he, again, I get the movement, 2 movement cards right next to each other. There's something about the transportation too. So he may know about the Jenny Thomas, since she helped pay for the buses and the da-da-da-da-da, or the organization she was with. So
yeah,
there's something about transportation there too.
I'm wondering if he also had knowledge of all the different, he had to have had knowledge of all the different pieces of the coup. You know, the factors, and then Mike Flynn was going to do this over here, and Roger Stone was going to do that over there, and Trump's going to do this, and the electors are going to do, you know, it's like it was the whole.
Mike Flynn, who couldn't even say that he believed in the peaceful transfer of power.
He had to plead the fifth on that
for 5 minutes, and then fifth.
Yeah.
So Kathy in chat said, Becca, the mirror behind you, which has a very church-like look to it, you know, it looks like a church window, makes her feel like it's the Church of Satan.
The Church of Satan. That's the.
And I have to agree. Yeah.
That's the Harry Potter. The mirror of Erised, the mirror of desire. It says, "Show you not your face, but what your heart desires." On the top, it's backwards, but yeah, it does look like a church mirror. The Church of Satan.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, speaking of Satan, the MAGA people have been going from rhino to rhino, yelling at them. Ted Cruz is one of the people who got the yell and the wag.
Cornyn and
So Donald Trump has, I'll ask it this way first, and then we'll get back to them. Will the GOP, Republicans, the old GOP, the Bushes of the world, will those people produce a candidate sometime soon? Because you know they run for president for 2 years. I hate that so much. Our elections last way too long.
Because you know the MAGAs are going to put the Satan forward. You know, they turn on everybody, so maybe they'll turn on the Satan over something. Doesn't take much. Give them a conspiracy theory.
I mean, speaking of Satan, they called Mike Flynn a Satanist. So after he ruined his reputation for these people.
All you got to do is start a rumor about the Satan, and there he goes, you know. Two can play the game, so we should start tweeting different things about the Satan.
What you get when you play with fire, they thought they could go over there and just mess with the crazies, and now the crazies are out of the, they ran out of the asylum, and now they're coming after you. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
They're eating each other. Go for it.
And you all inspired it and added fuel to the fire. So have fun with that.
You can't control crazy. All you can do is stare at it.
They thought they could pander to it and stoke the flames to their advantage, and here it is.
Should have stopped Donald Trump when you had the chance.
They wouldn't have gotten their tax cuts to Supreme Court justices. Well, I mean, they would have, but
I get they're going to throw a bunch of options out there, like primary a whole bunch of people and see who sticks, see who gets the votes in the primaries, because they don't want Trump, but they're afraid they're stuck with him. So I think they're just going to throw a whole bunch of options out there and see what sticks.
I got to know. There's going to be a couple of men for the elections that appease the base.
Yeah. And
So
there's indecision. There's indecision about who to get behind.
here in the center, you got the elections, the choice, but it's more than one of these. There's a couple of these that are options, but it's for the base. So even if you were to get a Republican from that wing of the party, from like a Cheney wing of the party, I don't know if it's enough to appease the monsters. So
You get lost opportunity, in that the coalition is under strain at the moment because they're trying to go uphill with the Trump on their back. So, no, for right now, they won't produce a candidate, but they're going to have to, because you can't afford, because Trump is not going to win you another election.
Can we ask
no.
if Trump will primary? Because if Trump thinks that the RNC will just say, "Oh, he's our candidate," will he have to primary?
they'll be bankrupt by then, Jenny. He would have bankrupted them.
Beyond to another grift and lawsuit. He didn't look good in that last video that I texted y'all the link to. He looked on, was it Newsmax or something? He had big bags under his eyes and heavy lines in his skin.
Will Donald Trump win the Republican primary? That's a big old hell no.
I'm asking just, will he primary?
I gotta know.
Will he run in primaries?
I'll get a no too.
You gotta know.
Mm-hmm.
When they're done dragging his ass through the mud, his ego wouldn't be able to take a loss and then another loss back to back. He'll continue to hold the election from him, but
yeah, will he move forward and transition into it? That's a rough crossing for Trump. It's like he's got a problem with the votes. It's the end. He's going to get really emotional about it. Like he doesn't have enough. Unless they say they beamed him up to the satellites again and they came back as Biden votes.
he should take his newly converted cult members. I don't even know how many millions of Americans he's brainwashed and with bullcrap. Woman, those people should just go somewhere else. Go start your own country somewhere else. Like in a shithole state.
A deserted little island.
You know?
I was listening to a podcast. There's a man, Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, has a wrestling memorabilia shop in Clearwater, Florida. And the manager that works there is a space cadet. Like, he believes that Biden has been abducted and there's a fake one. He also believes that Biden's face isn't real. It's a fake one, and there's chips in the mask, and they track you with them, so you shouldn't wear them. And he's never been vaccinated, and he's had COVID 3 times. It's not that bad. And Donald Trump really won. And I think he has all of the conspiracies wrapped up in his one little head. And
yeah, it's not really Biden. It's Kennedy that came back and he's stayed up to look like Biden. So, because they brought the dead guy back.
He was like, Biden is actually like 5'6" or whatever, and that's not the real one. And I'm like, what the heck is this man saying?
The dead guy, Jenny, who was a Democrat. The dead guy who was a Democrat that's coming
back. Was a Democrat who they're okay with. They like Kennedy. For whatever reason.
Make that make sense. Make that make sense. You can't
because birds aren't find a dead Republican to bring back. Let's just go ahead and go further back. Bring back Lincoln. They're both shot in the head. Come on.
I don't get it. Like, why would he vote for you though? Why would he be your running mate? What? Okay.
Kennedy's ideology and their ideology are completely at odds. So why would you even consider, if you're going to bring a dead guy back, why not Eisenhower or Reagan or somebody like that?
Never mind, he'd be in his 90s now. He'd be
or Jackson. They like Jackson. They act just like y'all. So okay.
I'll bring back Jefferson Davis. If you want a civil war.
Jesus. Don't drop out of school, kids. Don't drop out of school.
So we'll be a little tabloidish right now. And Kelly and Conway is rumored to be having marital problems.
Oh, no, you don't say.
I
So,
thought she was already separated.
they're still together,
Oh man.
as far as I know, anyway. Because her husband was very anti-Trump and she worked for Trump. And right now, that's starting to boil over into like real life. And so at first, they were ignoring it, I suppose, but not anymore. So can we look into their marriage and see if it's happy and healthy, and will it be sustained?
And she just had her book come out that's doing diddly squat.
Mm-hmm.
She kissed him back up to it because I thought they were separated and heading for divorce. She's kissing back up because she needs his money or something. After they screwed their kids all up.
That poor girl. Well, I mean, you might be right there.
I just got a visual image of them sitting at dinner at a table the length of Putin's table. So far apart, like they can't even.
Like past the salt.
I get a 30. Yeah, let me slide it down the table at you. I get they're already done. They're already toast. Maybe even lawyered up already. They're just waiting to announce it.
They're having an alternative divorce.
It's a fake divorce. They're still waiting on the financial settlement and the marriage.
Oh Lord, that's funny.
Yep, they're on thin ice.
Like, how are you not surprised, though? You go out and lie to the entire country for a living. And you admit that you're a liar because you call it alternative facts. You know. Again, they're married. Where it's going, big trouble. The results of her lies, the results of the lies have caused a huge amount of trouble in the marriage. I only pulled 3 instead of a line of 5, but it's not looking good if this is there. So unless they're open to therapy or something like that, I don't know. But it's saying the results of her lies the results of lies and betrayals have caused problems.
A mountain of problems.
Mm-hmm. A mountain of lies.
Phone out to ask for the salt.
There's a man who wants out. There is the devil and the emperor and the fool. There's a man who wants out. Judgment, Ace of Pentacles. There might be a document, something around money, some sort of opportunity to go into court or to have a judgment. So it may not be like a long, lengthy, horrible divorce, but at the same time, there's a man who wants out. I mean, lie down with dogs, be happy with fleas. There you go. That's what you do. Well, speaking of fleas, Ghislaine has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. Will she serve all 20 years?
It's interesting. She got 20 years and R. Kelly got 30. For basically the same thing.
Here's the thing where I have a problem, though. Okay, fine. You put the madame in jail. What about her clientele?
Yeah.
She wouldn't be where she was at if there wasn't a clientele to be selling girls to. Like, I mean, let's just keep it real. So
we'll try to get out early on good behavior or something, but I don't think in the something involving children, they should ever let them out early. Make them serve the full time.
Give her 50 years, anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, you traumatize somebody for life.
That's right. They're in therapy for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Times however many they did this too. So, I heard she was doing yoga classes in prison.
Yeah, they said she's going to the nice prison, and then the person who works on the inside said, prison's prison. It's not a nice prison, and blah, 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 but
But
she ain't going to Alcatraz, though.
But she's teaching a yoga class, and I was like, yeah, downward facing dog. I can see her doing that.
Scuzz bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks she'll get out early. I get like, it was good news to her, because she could have been sentenced longer. So she's sitting there. It could have been worse. So she thinks she just has to bide her time making license plates, my prison card, making license plates, teaching yoga, whatever she's doing. She thinks it'll end quickly and she can get out of there. She's like get out on parole, like some agreement where she can get out, and then she's famous, so she can go back to partying and her social life. She thinks she's going to get out early, going to higher ground.
Go move in with Casey Anthony. You'll get along just fine, I'm sure.
I get no. She's these two together are not good, because this is anxiety. This is a lot of nervous energy, and she's right here. So I think when the reality of it hits, she might start singing like a bird or trying to negotiate perhaps something lesser, because this takes away. So, but it's saying that she's going to negotiate for something lesser. So I don't know if she's going to be like, okay, we'll shave off a few years if I give you the whole list, or you know what I mean? But I get a no.
No. Page of Wands in the Moon. She won't get out early, or she won't get out early. There's the Hermit. I don't see like all 20, maybe like 15, but it's a really long time though. So it's not like 8. There's the Hermit and the Nine of Cups. So it's like a really long time, but you don't complete it all the way. So she's going to be in there a very long time. Get used to it. So speaking of being somewhere way too long, well, I won't say that in that case, but for a long time, this is another workaround for this question. Will Mitch McConnell retire by 2024?
Because he said if they lose the Senate, if he's not the Senate majority leader after the midterms, he's going to retire.
So that's our workaround to ask whether they will get the majority or so will he retire by 2024? Or whenever he's up, but will he retire soon? I guess I should say.
Why do nasty people live so long?
I mean, Jesus.
Nasty people and stupid people, like God takes care of them. The nice people he calls home sooner. Like, here, I'll rescue you and bring you out of that mess.
This is hard to kill Henri. Will he retire soon? 1, 2, 3.
If y'all made me I could go there and just bleed them dry. Get rid of the problem. Damn.
He ain't got no blood. He's full of pus and venom. the canker sore on the arse of the world he is.
I'd still find a way to bleed them dry, Johnny. I would get creative.
I'll cheer you on. Pitchfork it on. Because if it's anybody on earth I hate, it is that man right there.
Will he retire by 2024? Yes. And America will be quite happy, overjoyed, like a lot of emotions. He may be traveling or something, but he's going to be burdened by the votes. So it was kind of a 50-50, like he might not go, but I'm getting a yes, he will. And I get Biden secure, the Dems are secure. So bye-bye.
I gotta know. I get that he stays there and he's quite comfortable. He's not going anywhere.
Wow.
I get the card for retire. Good day, goodbye, sir. Speaking of goodbye, Eyebrows McGee, aka Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Oh God.
She is
Eyebrows McGee. She looks like she's constipated. Eyebrows McGee, Johnny. Like we protect children in classrooms. It's like, do you realize what you just said? Do you realize what you just said?
Oh Lord Jesus, why do I say that?
It's a good name, Johnny.
Eyebrows McGee, that's her name. Lord Jesus.
I like that, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
So she's running for the Arkansas governorship. And so is a man named Chris Jones, who is also running against her. He is the Democrat. So will the question was actually not necessarily would he win. They were asking, will the DCCC, I think is how they worded it. Will they back him up, basically? Will the Democrats back him up there in Arkansas? Because she is a shoe-in, is what they're saying, basically. Yeah. So will he get more momentum behind him, more money, more that type of thing?
Because her daddy was governor there, so yeah.
His name is Chris Jones. Okay. Will he get more support from the Dems? Against
that'd be a hard state to win, but yeah, Bill Clinton came from Arkansas, so
mm-hmm.
Sarah Succubus Sanders.
Succubus is supposed to be a temptress. I can't that. Her ancient eyebrow magic. Is that how she does it? But girl, if you don't get them caterpillars off your face, what are you doing? Lord.
Michelle Obama wore a stunning dress that she bought at Target one time, and it was stunning on her, and she looked so attractive in it, and she was like, was like proud that she was wearing something from a moderate place. Sarah Huckabee Sanders looks like she buys her clothes at some flea market, like twice worn or something. I don't know what it is, but her clothes always look.
I mean, Michelle Obama, she can wear a potato sack and look nice, and then you can get something from Gucci and Armani and stick it on eyebrows.
Put a caterpillar eyebrows in it, and it looks bad.
Do you guys remember when Sarah Huckabee Sanders or Eyebrows McGee went to that restaurant and they kicked her out? They refused to serve her, and she threw a fit.
I mean, she was in a evening gown, I guess, when she went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and
that goes to show you, Johnny, just because you can have all the money in the world doesn't mean that you can, put lipstick on a pig and dress up trash. Look at Melania, okay?
Oh, that's a great first lady. No, it ain't either.
No, that's a hooker, dude.
You had one.
That's the hoe, you can find all her naked pictures all over the internet.
Mm,
Probably
mm.
on Hustler too. Mhm.
I mean, she was an aardvark in a dress. That's what she was. So, I mean, it was the face. Why are you keep pulling your face back? Like, stop it.
Her eyebrows. I'm telling you, her eyeballs are going to end up in the back of her head one day, dude. Seriously.
Her Melania's are about as tight
Like,
as
how
they'll
can you
get.
even see? How can you even see? You have slits. You
Like
know,
your eyebrows on the top of your ears now. It's like,
As Johnny said, she's like the cartoons that just have a little slit for the eyes.
it's just a long line. That's it. Ugh. Vanity, I guess. I mean,
and that girl ain't got no ass. She put all that money in her boobs. It's like, honey, you should have the backside because it's flat. It's like flat.
I get they're going to do some work for him, and I get an abundance of money to try to change, his image, so to speak, there, or to present his image. But I can't get like if he's going to win. I'm getting this like indecision. It may end up in the courts or something because I get like he stands in power and then he's out in the cold and then he's victorious and then maybe it goes to the courts and it changes and he's burdened by the time it's over. So I can't get if he's going to win or not. That might be a tight race.
For the question of will the DCCC back him? I think they would, perhaps with phone banking, rallies, public speaking, mail flyers, that sort of thing. I think that they will, because this is results, public, and then speaking or negotiating communications. So results of public speaking or speaking to the public. So phone banking and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe.
I could guess in like a form of ads and things.
Yeah. Or maybe something on the radio too, like commercials on the radio, or it's something where a lot of people can see it. Maybe in that form is what I'm getting.
I get the Five of Swords in the Sun, so it's like they're trying to highlight the bully or something like that. So it's possibly ads like, look, she used to lie for Trump, and they're going to try to probably tie her into the Jan 6 people, and like she likes these type of people and they're destroying America, that type of thing. The worry though is still his transitioning into some sort of thing of power, because again, she is kind of a shoe-in is what they're just the scuttlebutt on the street is. But yeah, they will be behind him. They will back him up, even if it seems small, but because they ain't got no other candidates, so you might as well. But it's going to be a rough road for that one. Okay. Speaking of rough road, and actually, you know what? I'm tired of talking about that child, so we'll move on. We'll come back to you at some other point. I was looking at the Ali Alexander pictures and was offended that he looked a little bit like Sammy Davis Jr. Like, why do you look? You favor him way too much to be a horrible person. Okay. Cheney, she has a primary too. How will she do?
Because that debate was a fiasco. It's like, let me beam down aliens with no brain or something to debate her. It was just like being in some weird sci-fi movie where nothing made sense. Except for Liz Cheney.
That's what the first thing I seen is somebody said, "Oh, this looks like a spoof, some sort of skit." I'm like, okay,
like an SNL skit. It was like, oh my god, these people are all on drugs. Your daddy's also your uncle and your brother. I don't know.
Oh, bless her heart. How she did.
I have to say the Arizona debate was even worse than the Wyoming one. So it was like there was not one sign of intelligent life there.
Almost like the one here with Oz and the rest of the people going up the yellow brick road here. It was like, what in the world is happening? Y'all sound so ridiculous. So Oz, you don't actually live in Pennsylvania. What do you think about that? Well, Donald Trump he's really good at golf and barbecuing. So it's like, what the heck does that got to do with you moving to Pennsylvania?
Kind of like, what's his face, Herschel Walker? It's like he just vomits out.
Like, what is wrong with this?
I was so happy to see the new polls now. Warnock has a 10-point. I was like, thank God, because that would have been some scary ass stuff, dude. Scary if you would have gotten a bumbling idiot like that into the Senate. Dear God, Georgia, get it together.
We already got please. Green and the other child. We don't need it anymore, please.
No. Oh, and that other idiot, Gomer, but he's on his way out.
Yes.
I guess they're all running for the stupid award. You know what I mean? Like, who could be the one?
They gonna run out by the time they get to the back of the room. first three rows got them all.
Yeah, he was saying there's 52 states in the United States. 52 states. Move
if
to
that's
one of the
how
other
they sound in a primary debate, can you imagine how they'd sound like on the Senate floor or the House floor debating it? Like, all I can say is if some of these people get in, we're going to be doing our Sunday night things for quite a while because Mini Boots Club will continue.
I mean, can you imagine? This is what happens when you ban books and stop educating people in schools and cut school funding.
This is true.
But whatever.
I'm not getting that it's clear yet if she's going to win because some people have turned their back on her, but I guess she may get the women's vote. And there's people that feel like Trump betrayed them, It's close. It's really, really close. I'm not sure she gets it because it's almost like trying to change from the Republicans trying to change their image here, and getting away from the Trumpism and stuff. But I'm not getting a yes, she's going to win. It's close. She might maintain power to win the primary.
Well, didn't a bunch of Democrats? I had read that in her state, Wyoming, a bunch of Democrats moved over to Republicans so that they can vote in the primaries and vote against the crazies.
Yeah, they did that in Colorado too, and Boebert still won.
And a bunch of other different states too, because the Republicans were touting how they had over 1 million new people that signed up for the Republican Party. And it's like, yeah, that's because they're voting against the crazies and closed primaries. People are switching to not let those people in, So I'm getting that she's going to have a very difficult road ahead, but it moves forward, whatever that means. I don't know.
I get a woman wins, but barely. The 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. So some woman gets it here, but just barely. Like exhausted, barely. One thing. Maybe it's a woman Democrat. That would be great.
The primary won't be the Democrat, though.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I was gonna do we might as well since this will be the last one.
We don't. But what about our petty person, Johnny?
I don't have one. You got one?
No.
Okay.
I got a stupid brain today, so I'm like barely functioning.
I have Warnock in Walker, though. Will Warnock continue? Will this trend continue? Will he continue to lead against CTE Walker? Yes, thank you.
Herschel, I don't know how many kids I got Walker.
God.
I can't count to 10 yet, so We'll stop it too.
You know what? That's okay. I have one more question. I have one more question after this. I'll just pull those cards and that's enough right there.
I get a big old yes for the storks. Increase, improvement, on top of, higher, changing. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I get he's victorious, but I get it all comes down to speaking, talking, communication, because Herschel's got a problem. He didn't know how to do that.
Did Herschel Walker even debate him? Did he even debate him?
He wouldn't debate him because he kept saying stupid stuff in interviews, and he wouldn't show up for any debates because he can't talk. He's got an image problem. So Herschel does. So, but I get Warnock, because he can speak, intelligently. We'll win it.
I get yes. He will. The trend will continue. Temperance and strength. My question now is: this is the last one. Why won't the devil come get his kids? That's what I wanted.
I'm trying here. Nobody will give me the job.
You're still applying, so I can't put it on you just yet.
You're the devil's apprentice. You haven't got the full-time job yet.
There's still one hanging on, like the Mitch McConnell fart of the world, that's still lingering in the room. He is the silent gas. So what I want to know is, why won't the devil come get his kids? Why is it so hard to kill Henri? Why is it so hard to just take Mitch McConnell and sit him in the middle of the lake of fire with the rest of the Hitlers of the world? Why won't the devil come get his kids? That's what I want to know.
Why won't the devil come get his kids? The devil
Why?
come get your children. The devil.
First card I get is 6 of Cups. There's his kids right there. No, I like cards. They do weird things because I ask weird questions.
Hang on, I had to put it back in, see if he shows up again. He's trying to make an appearance.
I get that he hasn't come and gotten his kids because he's waiting and negotiating their deaths so that they can suffer for all of their lies and betrayals. So he's basically just waiting for their lives to end. He's negotiating the terms though. Like, okay, man, this SOB's been around for 85 years. Time to kick the bucket yet? So yeah.
I guess 80 years is a long time for us. Maybe not that on the other side, but good God.
I'm telling you, man, the devil needs to retire and put me in charge, because I'd be like, nope, time's up.
I couldn't do it. Mitch would have been going at 16, so I couldn't.
If it were me, being that you're the devil, you can you can see what this person's going to be like. He wouldn't have made it to fertilize the egg. Okay. No.
Well, I get it. It's money. You won't come get him. It's money, because they got to have a lot of money to cross the river Styx, because he's going to be looking for his handout, right? The Grim Reaper. And in particular, I get Trump there. Like he's about done. He's about ready to go. But I get, the impoverished can't come to the devil. You got to have some celebrity status and some money and some flair, and then he'll come get you. He watches their money. They got to be greedy, and they got to be corrupt.
There's too many. like trying to herd cats. There's too many. There's too many.
You can always make room for more.
I mean, this is why there needs to be a condom on every nightstand of every Republican from here to Tennessee. So, so thank y'all.
I think he charges them more to go to hell than they get charged to go to heaven. I think the price is a little higher.
Oh, Donald Trump will pay for your suffering. He said it himself. So thank y'all for coming out.
Donald Trump will start a new grift to raise money for the toll for the ferry.
Tickets to hell, DonaldTrump.com.
Pay my ferryman's toll.
Oh my God. I don't understand. And they would buy it too.
Yeah, they would.
If they'll eat dirt and drink pee, you'll buy a ticket to hell. You would from Donald Trump.
While praying to Jesus. Praying to Jesus. Because we're Christians.
I mean, the Jesus
if
they
asked
know
them to, they would totally contribute to that.
It's just as fake as Donald Trump. So
Jesus.
I gave my reading aid. You weren't paying attention. Don't put it on me. So I will see y'all next week on Jen Lynn's channel. Yeah, Becca will too. She'll be there too. So we will see y'all next week on Jen Lynn's channel.
Happy 4th of July.
If you celebrate, and happy Canada Day. Women unite. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. So stay strong. We will overturn. We will overcome. We will rise again.
And I'm taking over hell.
The battle is not over. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.